Alrighty everybody, welcome back to Culz Book Reviews. We got a special episode for you this week as we check out the legendary novel Jaws by one Peter Benchley. Now we are checking this out because it is the 50th anniversary of the film this year, so we thought where better to talk about Jaws than its big 5-0. Really crazy. It's been 50 years of Jaws scaring swimmers not to go into the ocean, but at the same time inspiring a lot of people to get really interested in sharks and just really further the study of sharks. I think without Jaws, we wouldn't even have like Shark Week and stuff like that. It's been very influential, much like when we covered Jurassic Park and that inspired paleontologists and pushed that science. Jaws is the same way. I picked this one up because obviously it's the 50th anniversary edition. Had a little bit more like just behind the scenes. So of course I read those extras as well as just this edition this time. Though it is not the edition I've read most of Jaws, I think that title goes to this paperback edition here. You can see it has definitely seen better days, but I've had this one for a long time. Either my Uncle Russ or my mom and dad or someone gave it to me. I think it was my Uncle Russ, but yeah, no, I remember reading this, and I know I've given it a lot of slack throughout the years, but I think Jaws really is a really good novel. I forget how good Peter Benchley was at writing. It's like when you reread a Michael Crichton, and we just talked Jurassic Park, and they're just so inspirational. If you guys haven't seen it, we have been running a poll as well. Let us know, what is the better book version? Is it Jaws or is it Jurassic Park? What's the better film version, Jurassic Park or Jaws? But yeah, let's get started. We got a couple editions to look at, and I'll give you my thoughts. Alright, so if we're going to start anywhere, you guys start with Jaws, the hardcover edition. You see like a very kind of simplistic novel. It's that black coloration with the iconic font of Jaws with just Peter Benchley at the top. And you see in red a novel, as well as the swimmer, our first unfortunate victim of the novel. And then, of course, the giant shark. Not as menacing as the later renditions of the shark have become, but just one, if you haven't collected this edition, I recommend it. It's kind of cool to have just featured in the collection, as well as we got a picture of one Mr. Peter Benchley himself on the back there. On the side of this one, we see Peter Benchley, Jaws, and then the publishing. The hardcover edition comes in at 311 pages. And as you can see, flipping through it, it is just text, no drawings, though it is split into 3 parts, which each part is denoted by a little drawing of a shark below the waves. The next edition is the paperback edition, the one I've read most. You see number 1, Super Thriller, a novel of relentless terror. Again, the iconic Jaws just font, like you see that font, you know it's Jaws. Peter Benchley, and then the more updated picture. I think we know, if you've seen a poster for Jaws, you've seen the DVD or Blu-ray or anything for Jaws, it's going to have this artwork. Over here you do see a little stamp that says now a spectacular motion picture from Universal. So obviously this is coming out with the film, which makes sense given the artwork. On the side here you see Jaws, and then the publishing. Only $1.95. Really good price if we could get that today, right? And then the ISBN number. On the back we see Jaws and a little bit about the book. No ISBN on the back like we see in today's novels. And then of course kind of that just nostalgic like yellowing of the pages that if you have any like older books, like you are going to recognize that. Again, like the other one, no pictures, just text. Though the paperback version clocks in at 309 pages. And then finally, the most recent edition that I own, at least, the 50th anniversary edition of Jaws, with the iconic picture with the iconic great white just swimming up on our unfortunate first victim there. And then, of course, it's written by Peter Benchley. On the side, we see 50 years of Jaws, which is insane. It's weird to think it's 50 years old. Like, I'm told a lot of people that, and they're like, wow, 50 years already. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. Peter Benchley. And then the publishing down below. And then a little bit about the book itself on the back, as well as you can see right there, a little bit about the publishing company. And there we go, finally, an ISBN. So much like the other two, yes, this one only clocks in at 311 pages, but it does have some bonus content. And as you can see, the wind helping me kind of flip through, you just see some notes from Mr. Peter Benchley himself, as well as stills from the film by Steven Spielberg. You can see Bruce the shark hopping out at the camera. There's also a letter in here from Peter Benchley, kind of just discussing some of the stuff he found troublesome with the film adaptation. We also, like I said, we get notes from Benchley and some of his brainstorming sessions. This one here on the title of the book. And also included in here is some excerpts from other books. We got some other stuff from Peter Benchley, like A Shark Life, which is mentioned. And then I do have a copy of Jaws logs, so at some point we will go into that, probably in the near future, so just keep an eye out on the channel for that one. Alright, so just my thoughts on the book. If you haven't read it, it's sort of like Jurassic Park. It does differ from the film, maybe not as much as Jurassic Park. It does follow the basic storyline, but there are little story beats and just subplots that don't make it into the film, things we do not see. So one of the bigger ones is the mayor himself is in bed, I guess, with the mob and owes some money to them, hence why he's so reluctant to close the beaches. He's not just money greedy, but he's really kind of scared for his life. What is he going to do if his selectmen drop out on him? Also, the characters are vastly different, and here only one of the main characters survives. In the film version, we get both Hooper and Brody surviving, but in the novel, we only have Brody, because Hooper dies in the cage scene. In the movie, he escapes. The shark breaks in, but he's able to wiggle his way out and escape underneath Bruce and hide at the reef bottom, the sea bottom there, until, Bruce is blown up. In both versions, Quint dies, though, but very different. In the movie version, we get the kind of iconic where Bruce lurches up on the back of the orca, starts to sink it, and, Quint is falling down. Because the degree is too steep, he can't keep his footing. He falls, he slips into the mouth, and Bruce drags him out lifelessly as it bites him and blood spurting out of Shaw. Very iconic. I'm sure you guys have seen it. And here he kind of just gets his leg tied on a rope and pulled out to sea by Bruce. And speaking of Bruce, he also dies very differently. In the movie, we get the very iconic line from Roy Scheider when he goes and he shoots and blows up Bruce. In the book, the shark just succumbs to his wounds from being harpooned, being shot a couple times, and eventually just dies. Sort of anticlimactic. It's not the huge spectacle that we see in the movie. And also just kind of the character traits. In the movie we get the Brodies. They seem just like a normal, loving family. Obviously, she's very scared about him going out after this, man-eating shark, this rogue shark. And here Ellen is missing her former life. She was brought up kind of in money, and she misses that. She doesn't get that anymore with living just with the town sheriff. And she actually has a relationship in the book with Hooper, who she dated his older brother at one point. And so there is that kind of tension between Brody and Hooper in here as well, where they are at odds, because Brody is kind of starting to question, would she cheat on me? It's kind of weird. And again, most of the deaths are pretty similar. In 1916, the attacks in Jersey are mentioned. Overall, I would say it is a very good read. I know I've given it crap and the movie being better, and that might still be the case. I just rewatched it. Still fantastic. But if you haven't read Jaws, I highly, highly recommend it. It's just like Jurassic Park. I think it's different enough that you will get a new experience. It's not going to just be like, hey, I really like the movie, so I'm going to read this and get the same storyline. You will get different story beats, more human growth. I mean, the whole first attack is very, very short in the film, but we kind of get a whole kind of subplot of who was she? Where did she live? And kind of the backstory there. It's not just oh, she lived, it's not the cold opening that we've seen where she runs in the water and gets eaten. It is a shorter kind of breakdown, but I think at some point, especially with these bigger novels that do have film adaptations, we'll do some book versus movie videos. But also, guys, stay tuned. We got lots of Jaws stuff coming up because it is the 50th anniversary of just such a classic film. And, of course, a really good novel. If you haven't read Jaws, go read it. Maybe pick up some other Benchley stuff. we will definitely be back. We'll pick up Shark's Life, like I said, at some point. I already own it, so we'll review it, I should say, at some point here in the near future. But for now, we'll give it a 9 out of 10, just like Jurassic Park. And again, guys, let us know in the comments below, which one do you think is better as a book? Just a book, not a film. Book versus book. Jaws or Jurassic Park? Tell us in the comments below. But until next time, guys, for more Culz Book Reviews, click that link to your left. For more about us here at Culz Paranormal, click that link to your right. And don't forget to hit the like and give us a subscribe. And let us know, have you read Peter Benchley's Jaws? And do you have a favorite book by Peter Benchley? Tell us in the comments below.